Hey, I'm Akhil. I'm your counselor and coach for data science at Board Infinity. Let's get together and learn math, programming, business understanding, predictive analytics, and so much more. Today we are going to talk about the top skills to become a data scientist. But wait, before that, let's understand what data science is. Data science is the fastest growing space in the recent years. It's exciting and there are tremendous amount of opportunities. It's also been called the sexiest job of the 21st century, and I can't agree more. One of the most exciting parts of the data science industry is the demand is greater than supply. That means there are tons and tons of opportunities. Even today, the industry doesn't have the skill set required to solve data science problems. Personally, I've been in this industry for 7 years, and today I'm going to be sharing the top 5 skills required for you to become a data scientist. The top 2 skills that the data scientist needs is the skill of a mindset. It is not hard skills, but how you think and how you behave. The first skill in this list is business understanding. So what do I mean when I say business understanding? Let's say, for example, you want to become a data scientist and you're looking at different domains like marketing, finance, utility industry, energy industry, and data science is cross-domain. That means a data science solution or a problem can crop up in marketing, can crop up in an aerospace industries or anything. It is very important for a data scientist to know what the business is. Without understanding the business of the problem that you're going to solve, you're never going to be a good data scientist. This is a hugely underappreciated skill in the market and essentially very important when you're just starting. Let's say you're starting in a marketing role. You would not understand anything about marketing. Let's say I'm working for an e-commerce company. I would not know anything about how e-commerce works. But if someone comes and asks you, solve a problem for me in e-commerce, it is not just analytical skills that you need, but you need to understand how the business functions so that the insights that you generate from the data can be leveraged by the business. Not just that, in any industry, data scientists are always a shared service, which means you're working with different stakeholders, right? So I've seen a lot of people who just focus on the analytical hard skills and not on the soft skills. So they might run tremendous models, they might run advanced statistics, but it doesn't translate into actionable insights. And that's where a data scientist fails. It's not just for a person starting in data science, but also an experienced professional like me. If I'm going to solve a problem in, let's say, a petroleum industry, the first thing that I need to do is to read about what the petroleum industry is. Without understanding what the petroleum industry is and how it functions, what is the revenue model, I will not be able to do justice to any problem I solve. The second skill in this list is the skill of having an analytical mindset. Okay, what do I mean when I say having an analytical mindset? An analytical mindset is a mind which is curious, a mind which is inquisitive, the power of why. As soon as you keep asking why and why and why, you will arrive at the right answer. Why am I saying this? That's because any data science problem has a lot of stakeholders, right? If you're solving a problem in e-commerce, that means the marketing team is involved, the finance team is involved, the operations team is involved. And you can solve different problems for each of it. Until and unless you get to the why of the problem, you will go into a rabbit hole and never come out of it. You might take a month, you might take 2 months for you to get an answer to a problem that the client has never asked. So the first thing that you have to do whenever you're tasked with solving a data science problem is to ask why. Why is the customer solving this? Why is he asking for it? If, let's say, a person comes to me and says, I want to improve the conversion rate of my website, the first thing that you do is to ask him, why would you want to improve conversion rate? Why not revenue? Or why not, your product listings? Why is having an analytical mindset the most important skill set, even though it is very underappreciated? Because of this, right? A great man, Albert Einstein, once said, if he had 1 hour to save the planet, he would spend 59 minutes defining the problem and then 1 minute resolving it. Until and unless you define the problem, there is no way in this world that you're going to solve the problem. Because to solve a problem, you need to know what the problem is. Without knowing the problem, there's no solution. So data science, your hard skill, like programming skills, can never come into play here. Now we are done with the skill set of the mind. Now we come to the hard skills part of it. There are 3 important skills I feel that every data scientist should have. The first one in that list is programming skills. Now you can't shy away from programming if you want to become a data scientist, right? More and more data scientists are using general purposes languages like Python, R, and SQL to solve data science problems. Without a knowledge of programming, you're never going to become a data scientist. You will never be able to solve data science problems with just thinking, right? You have to code, you have to solve, you have to apply math, you have to apply stats. All of it will come together through these languages. For example, Python. Python has been gaining a lot of steam these days. A lot of clients want you to know Python. It's a general purpose language. It can be used to solve statistical modeling to all the way to building a website. That is number one. Number two is R. R is mostly a mathematical and statistical language where the math part of data science comes into play. So you need to know R, you need to know the different packages that we use in R to build statistical models. The third language in this list is SQL, or structured query language. Just imagine you had tons and tons of data, right? And you want to extract insights out of it. Then what would you use? You need some kind of processing language to make sense of the data, and that's where SQL comes into play. If there is tons and tons of data getting gathered and you take like a month to get the information out, then it's of no use. At this day and age, you have to be very fast in getting the insights. For example, think of a company like Amazon, right? Every day they generate so much information that the next day they want to basically figure out what sold the most, which product sold the most. And then if I come and say, you know what, I'm going to take 5 days for you to get the answer, they've lost the business right there. The fourth, highly underappreciated but very, very relevant in the data science industry is Excel. Now, I know that Excel is pretty old, but still, I would really recommend you to learn the basics of Excel at least to start off in data science. That's because 9 out of 10 companies, even the big companies, right, use Excel for dashboarding and reporting. For example, a manager who has been in the finance space for 30 years, he would just know Excel. If you had to go to him and pull up a fancy tool and show this can be done, he will say, I don't understand what you're talking, right? And that's why Excel becomes very important skill to have. Now, once you're done with the programming skill, the next skill that you have to have is data visualization. What is data visualization? More often than not, data scientists are working with business stakeholders who not appreciate but do not understand a lot about the stats and the math part of data science. So you need some way to explain to them the insights out of this data. Now let's say my manager asks me, hey, tell me what was the best product that was sold yesterday. I can't show him thousands of rows of data and say, hey, this is the data I got, so make use of it. You need a chart, you need a graph, you need some kind of video to make it possible. And that is where data visualization comes into play. Basically, a data scientist needs to be a good storyteller. Without the right and adequate visualization skills, you can never be a good storyteller, neither can you be a good data scientist. The last skill that you need in this list is machine learning. What is machine learning? Machine learning is nothing but the machine learning on its own. Now, why is machine learning important? Just imagine you're working for Netflix, right? And Netflix has a lot of users. It has more than 1 million users. And if you had gone to Netflix, it would recommend you what movies did you like. Now, do you think someone out there behind the scenes is actually analyzing each and every movie that you have watched and then suggesting something? No, it's the machine doing the job for them. Understanding machine learning is very important to scale, right? And to scale at the right level. Machines learn from data, interpret different patterns and behaviors with reduced human intervention. Now, machine learning is a part of data science. It's a part of artificial intelligence as well. A simple computer is also machine learning, right? Let's say you build a task of calculating 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Now, plus is just an operator or function. The next time you say 3 and 5, the machine will give you 8. You don't have to do the calculation. That's as simple as it gets, but it can be very complex as well. Now, these are the top 5 skills that you need to become a good data scientist. Let's just do a quick recap. The first 2 skills are a skill of mindset, which is understanding the business problem. Doesn't matter at which level you are, you always constantly update about the business that you're working for. The second is to have an analytical mindset. What it means is to always be inquisitive and curious to know why. Why is the customer asking me this? Why something happened? Why not that? The third important skill that we need to have is programming, because come on, at this day and age, you can't solve a problem without the use of computers, right? So it becomes very important. Python, R, SQL and Excel are all important platforms for a data scientist toolkit. The fourth one in this list is data visualization. As I said, a good data scientist is a good storyteller. If you can't translate your data into insights and tell it to the business stakeholder, then you're no good. You're just a person with good analytical skills and nothing else. The fifth one in this list is machine learning, which means how do you train machines to identify patterns and behaviors with minimal human intervention? Because a good data scientist will always find unique ways to scale a problem. It's not just a point problem you're solving, it's a problem of scale.